Everybody can just kind of close their eyes. We're going to get started. And I want you to just get in a place where you're relaxed, okay? Not standing, not driving a car, because I do not want you shutting your eyes if you're driving a car. And I want you to just close your eyes, and I want you to start taking some breaths in, breathing in and exhaling. Good. Again, breathing in and exhale. Good. And as you're breathing in and exhaling, I want you to concentrate, just like listening to the pause between the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Taking a deep breath in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now I just want you breathing normally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So I want you to notice if you see any type of colors with your eyes closed. Just pay attention to the colors and the swirling that they may be doing. No thoughts in your mind right now. I want you to just imagine as you're watching the beautiful colors, purple, gold, green, good. I want you to just imagine any thoughts that might be running through your head right now. I want you to imagine them leaving your head just like a bubble, like you were blowing bubbles as a kid when you blow bubbles and you'd watch the bubbles float away and then they'd pop. So I want you to imagine each thought leaving your head as a bubble, just floating off and popping. There's quite a few coming out right now, and then it starts to slowly slow down to where there's only 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're just sitting here watching the beautiful show of colors and energy with nothing in your mind but peace, harmony, and happiness. And as you sit here in peace, harmony, and happiness, ask yourself, what's the one thing that you need to focus on today? What's the one thing you need to focus on today, whether it be self-care, relationship, work, family, health? What's one thing that you want to focus on today and accomplish? Good. Now I want you all to take 4 deep hot breaths, breathing in through your nose. Again. And 2 more. Let's do 1 more. Nice. And I want you to come back into the room, into yourself, into your bodies, and just do a little stretching. And when you're ready, open your eyes and come back into the room. Awesome. Everybody, put your arms up in the air and just stretch it all out. Good. How was that for everyone? Was it a nice little time out there to rejuvenate yourself? So awesome. Just so y'all know that meditating or even centering yourself is better than taking a nap, FYI. It's clinically proven that you get more rest being in that alpha state than you do going to sleep. So when you start to feel maybe a little tired, or like you're saying, I need a nap, just put like some relaxing music on. If you have an Apple Watch, time yourself for like 10 minutes. We just did 10 minutes. Didn't seem like it, did it? Almost 10 minutes. We started at like 10:01, 10:02, and it's 10:11. But just 10 minutes and you feel refreshed. So who has some, yes, the homework. So some of you guys and gals did send in your P&L. You still have till February, your January P&L to get that sent to me. And who all has completed your database, putting them on a touch campaign? Like who's been working and completed? Nice, nice. Anyone else? What about you completed your organizational model? Okay, so what was the one thing? Oh, okay, Antonia has.
So I'm an independent agent. Mine's pretty simple. It's me, my transaction coordinator.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
And then eventually, are you going to, besides your TC, look at getting an assistant?
Yeah, virtual assistant, one of the Keller Williams trained ones.
Awesome. Cyberbacker. Cool. Okay, so for those of you who have been a part of the book club, that were here the last time, what was the if you don't finish something that you're going to do good for yourself health-wise? So just by the show of hands, it looks like there's quite a few of you guys that are gonna start something. So Adam.
Yeah, so I just listened to that book club on YouTube.
Okay.
I was thinking, goodness, I should be doing this anyway. Why do I need it for a punishment? So yeah, that's what my head was wrapped around. And also on the organization model, I think Gary Keller said the first hire is your coach. So you would be in that, as well as my transaction coordinator, contract to close person. And I have some people that I have leveraged for showings. So I guess a showing assistant is in that model as well.
Nice.
So the question was, what am I doing health-wise?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Which we all need to, I mean, listen to me, this may be a judgment statement, but we all should be doing something to take care of our health.
Sure. So I think maybe that you just said it, actually. It's better to do 10 minutes of that meditation than 10 minutes of sleep. So maybe when I realize that I'm not succeeding, that I can go into that state and do it.
Nice. Very cool. Awesome. Miss Anne Marie.
Health-wise, can I answer that question? I just recommitted in February to take daily walks, no matter what the weather was.
Nice.
Because I do live near the Ocean City boardwalk, so I got to the boardwalk, and I got, yesterday I got my walk in. Another day I got in the woods. So I'm just taking that hour, because the hour is going to pass one way or the other. I always think I don't have time to do that. So I've been doing that. And then in the morning, I've been doing a 21-minute meditation. And it was really good. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the meditation that I tapped into. His name is Panache. I don't know if anybody knows him, but the meditation today was do the Macarena. That was kind of his thing, do the Macarena, dance with wild abandon. And it was just a fun way to get my mind around just being joyful. Yeah, there you go, Adam. Do the Macarena and, just put some more fun in the day rather than all this pressure, that I put on myself. And I'm sure others do too.
Awesome.
Do the Macarena today. Thanks.
Very cool. Thank you. Allison.
So what I do for health wise?
So
Yeah.
you're going to start. Yeah. What are you going to start implementing?
Well, I've already started watching my diet, in my intake. Also exercising every other day online, and also meditating every other day, trying to get into a habit. And I've got like a little cheat sheet. This is what you need to do for yourself.
Nice.
So I'm trying to train myself to stick with that, because if I can do good for myself and clear my day, then I will feel better the rest of the day. I won't be disjointed going back and forth. Oh, I need to do this, but no, I've got to do business. No, I need to. So just take one thing at a time. And
are you trying, or are you choosing or intending to?
I'm choosing and intending to.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you. Miss May.
I'm kind of like on that path that's a little less than Antonia. It's just me. So there's no TC, there's no admin, there's none of that. So ultimately we'll get there. But I've been going to bed earlier at night, getting up earlier in the morning, and doing the pivot shift ahead call with James Shaw.
Nice.
So that's kind of what I've been doing for myself. And that gets my day going sooner and gets my juices flowing earlier. And
Very
so it just feels like a longer day though, because I'm up so much earlier.
Are you, what are some things, so what are some things with it being longer for you that you could accomplish?
I'm kind of already starting to do that. I'm making my calls earlier in the day. And so I'm actually talking with more people and getting things moving along.
Nice.
So.
Nice. Thank you for sharing. Catherine?
Hi. So hold on, let me give you a video real quick. Hi. So I'm focusing on spending more time working out, which I need to do for my health reasons. And I'm working on getting up earlier. I want to be up at 6. I'm getting up at 7:30. So I need to work on that still. It's a focus. But you know, like a couple of the others, I'm a single agent. I don't even use a transaction coordinator. In fact, I am a transaction coordinator for some other agents that need for extra money for me. But I've hired a coach, and that's the beginning of my future.
Nice. Thank you for sharing. Antonia? Maybe she's okay. Gabby?
Well, actually, I'm doing the Miracle Morning. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that book, but starting to implement that. So, of course, getting up early. I already get up early anyhow, so that's not a huge thing. For me, it's more sticking to the time, because I could start reading a book and then an hour goes by, right? Which is not the whole point. So I have to get better with that. And then I would do meditating. And I also have Peloton. So I join these programs that they have, so that it kind of makes me commit to it, so that I get that reminder, you know, it's time to do your workout. So I'm doing Crush Your Core right now and just doing yoga as well. So trying to do yoga 3 to 4 times a week at minimum.
Awesome. Jyoti?
So I've been meditating. I practice a method called the Heartfulness Meditation. It's a heart-centered meditation. I generally meditate for about an hour each day. And exercise-wise, I had it into my plan to exercise for about half an hour each morning, which was not really nearly what I needed, but at least I had got started. And then I threw my back. So I'm out and waiting for it to heal, to be able to get back. But in the meanwhile, I hope I was just thinking about it. I was thinking I can at least do the pranayamic breathing, the yogic breathing exercises. So I'm going to try and, start that at least for that. I have it on my annual plan goal sheet to do at least 2 detoxes and cleanses this year. And I'm working my way towards it. I haven't yet started. I don't know why I'm not started, but I will hope to start it before the end of this month.
Nice. Thank you for sharing. Okay, Siobhan?
So I am also a single agent. I have my coach, and then I have a transaction coordinator, and I currently have a cyberbacker, and I'll talk with Teresa about that later. And I decided just recently, I was teaching GPS, and so I did a GPS for the quarter. And for health, I said make a healthy lunch choice 5 times a week, because I think during the week when you're busy, especially as a solo agent, you grab something from a gas station, you do things like that, because you just don't have the time, or you go eat out and of course you want a burger and not, or not even a burger, but you want something like that instead of something really healthy. So consciously making sure that at least 5 times a week I have a really healthy lunch, because that's where I struggle the most in eating healthy. I said I would work out 3 times a week and hit my step count every day. So taking more walks, especially with the kids in the evening, is what I'm doing.
Cool. Thank you for sharing. Beata? So Beata's new to the group. And so I challenged everyone, if they didn't get everything completed, to start something like a new health goal, like something healthy. And so what is something that you would like to, if you've not already implemented, or that you have started doing, or you do, that you'd like to share?
Right. Hello, everybody. There are some, at least one of you that I know well, except of Teresa. So Jyoti, I was texting a little bit her back and forth here. Sorry if we were smiling a little bit. Jyoti, we were attending the game show together. So for anybody who is interested in building confidence or scripting or whatever, I heard somebody mentioned James Shaw. Pivot morning. This is great start. Game show is another one. Is changing mindset and is putting you on schedule. That's for sure what it is. So, but health-wise, I cannot stress enough doing something every day for yourself. I've been walking my dogs for the last 4.5 years. Both of them, they are humongous. It's like 250 pounds together. And when I had my surgery back at the beginning of December, my doctor told me I cannot do it because they are too crazy, pulling me too much. So I stopped doing this for the last 2 months. I feel like I am handicapped just because I cannot go outside twice a day. So I've started taking them one by one. They behave way better, but I want to really go back to do it every day, because being outside on the sun, either listening music, not to listening anything heavy, it's just a game changer. And the more I have on my schedule, the better it is. As I said, I was doing the pivot as well. Sometimes there were other groups with scripting. Game show was something I attended for over a year every day. I didn't miss a single day. And it just put my routine perfectly.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And Antonia? Oh, you don't? Okay.
No, I got it on my phone.
Awesome. So what are you doing health-wise for yourself? Something that you want to implement if you haven't already.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Sorry. I'm on my phone. I'm not sure where I'm at. Well, I intermittently meditate. And sometimes I call it a nappy-tate, because sometimes I feel like I'm not sure if I'm falling asleep or if I'm actually meditating. But I will wake up right at the time I'm expected to. And I know I need to do that more. And even if I feel like I'm not getting anywhere and I'm not calming my mind or whatever, what I have found is that it's the struggle of trying to calm my mind that seems to make a difference throughout the rest of the day. So I know I need to implement that consistently. And I know that will help me get through my day a lot more, because I have a lot on my plate, and sometimes it gets overwhelming and I'll toss in the towel sometimes and just go eat sugar.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for sharing. And, Arian is, taking notes for us. So this will help me to be able to hold you guys accountable also to your health, goals. So let's take our MREA out and let's look at we're just going to go to the summary of everything that we read, which is on page 262. And this really just kind of summarizes it all. Okay. So to net $1 million, you've got to address 16 issues, Gary says. And you must sustain a solid lead generation program that emphasizes marketing and consistently increases the number of leads. One thing that we've talked about, are you adding leads to your database daily? And if you're not, how can you? Okay, and this is, mentioned several times in this book. So if y'all are not paying attention to whether you are or are not putting leads in, I want you to start doing that ASAP. Okay, so on your schedule or on your to-do, your tasks, however it is that your checklists, whatever it is that you do, put that on there. Have I added leads? Okay. Have I added leads? And then make your goal. How many leads do you want to add a day? And how many days a week do you want to? Okay. We've talked about farming areas, farming flyers, golden letters, circle prospecting. We've talked about lead generating, door knocking, open houses. So having a solid lead generating program, if you're not consistently following it, you're not going to see success. You're not going to see the beauty of what consistently following a lead generating program looks like. One reason why I've challenged you guys for the health, because when our health, it all starts with the physical, right? So if you can imagine, and I'm just going to turn my back drop off here so you guys can see what I'm going to be drawing for you. So don't look at my hair is like all over. So if you, if we look at it like this, and I'm going to draw it, I'm going to hold it up. Okay. Okay. So if we look in NLP, which is all y'all know, I'm a master practitioner of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. We believe in 4 bodies: the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. The physical is what holds you guys up, right? It's your foundation. So if you're physical, and I'm not saying that we all need to look like freaking, a bodybuilder. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying more of making sure you're putting in your body what it needs, eating right, taking a walk, meditating, reading good books, right? If we're not working on this, it's like, imagine a 4-legged chair and you sit on, and one of the legs are weak and you sit on it, it's going to fall. It's the same with us. So why I've challenged y'all for the health is because it's going to create discipline. The discipline that you're going to need to consistently follow your lead generating program. Okay. Track and converting your leads through others. Okay, what is that? What are you guys thinking as I'm sharing this number 2 with you guys? Anybody have any feedback?
Do you mean like trying to keep your nose to the ground and figure out who may be a lead that you hear from your friends?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
something that comes to mind.
It could, yeah, it could be that. It is that, and it's also using a system, and also for those of you who have your assistants, making them as part of their tasks that they should be doing that for you. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes like I did that open house and I had a couple of good leads off of that. And it's been so long that I've done an open house. It's been so long since I've had these opportunity. I need to think quicker. And it took me a while to say, oh, Allison, why don't you put together, besides calling them, put together a little idea of what it would look like to buy a house, or, you know, just put a little flyer, something, anything. But it took me a while to get there. You know what I mean? So now I'm finding myself, I've got to develop, like you are saying, a system. If I get a buyer, what do I do? He's a little hesitant to come out of the house. We've had some storms and cold weather. What do I do?
Yeah. Well,
So-
write that down. Make that, like, when you guys say, oh, I'm going to start doing this, if you're not writing it down and creating an action plan, guess what? You're going to forget one of the steps.
Yes.
So I always say, write that down, make your checklist. And I'm just going to go through these quickly because we've got about 10 more minutes left. Protect your lead generation, focus time. Nothing should get in your way. Cody Gibson told the title company, if you ever book a closing between 8 and 10 a.m., I will never work with you again. I will fire you as my title company, because that's when I lead generate. That's how he protects it. So you got to get in that mindset where you protect it with everything and nothing is going to get in the way. Weigh your options and discover what works and what doesn't work for you. So I always encourage you, your top 3 ways of getting business, your lead generating, the top 3 things. You don't need 10. You don't even need 5. You need 3. You really only need 1, but it's great to have plan A, A, B, and C. Know the minimum number of listings you must list each month. We know that. We go over your numbers every time before we start our call. Unless you show up and you're like, I just need to, get this off my chest. Then I'm like, okay. And even then, sometimes I bring the numbers, show you the numbers. List the minimum number of listings each month. I know you all are working hard at doing this. Get sellers to accept the team concept. So for those of you who are starting to hire on team members or showing assistant, setting that expectation with your clients when you meet them, having that as part of your presentation, who your team is and what each of their roles are, always setting that expectation, period. Consistently market your seller listings for more leads. It's another thing I've encouraged all of you guys to do. Create a seller campaign, like a listing campaign. Make your checklist. Make time to learn and implement the RTCK, recruit, train, consult, keep process. For those of you who are building teams, as a rainmaker, it is your job to train your team. It's your job. Hire capacity versus cul-de-sac talent. Achieve accountability to the right standards. Create teamwork with rock and roll. What do you guys think that rock and roll? Create teamwork with rock and roll.
Well, it sounded like. Are you guys getting a reverberation?
Oh, well, maybe not. You can type it in the chat, Antonia. While she's typing that, I'm going to keep going. Combine quality service with quantity service. Stick to the budget model and control your costs. There are some of you that have been wanting to start, something, for leads. And I'm like, don't do it. Don't do anything yet. Make that a goal. Dialing like Land Voice or RedX or what was the other one? And I said, okay, if that's what you want, then make that you're in 2 months. If I close consistently and I'm hitting my goals each month, then by this time I'll have it in my budget to do that. When you want to start, putting something in, Make it a goal. Don't just say, oh, I'm going to do this because I want the business. Because if you're not getting the business now, it's because you're not following this. Okay. Stay focused on 20% that matters and balance your life to maintain your energy at a high level. So rock and roll to me, and Antonio, if you want to type it in the chat, what you were saying is more
I think I
about
figured,
being, oh, you did? I don't see it.
yes. It seemed to me like the role part was about systems and processes, figuring out what they are, writing them out so that whatever each person does, they know exactly what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to do it and when they're supposed to do it. And I found that when I did that for myself, whenever I get a new prospect for buyer or seller, whenever we get a contract, whenever I get a listing, I have now written down exactly what I need to do whenever that happens. So if anyone, or if I would hire anyone, they would just take on that list. So it's just systems and processes written out, it seemed to me.
Nice. Thank you for the share. Yeah. It's definitely like, role, ROLE. It's a role, right? Rock and roll, solid. And it's like the expectations, there's clarity on what it is that needs to be done. So just, I'd love to open up to you, the floor to you guys, just like, what are you taking away? We've got 5 minutes left. What are you going to implement? Like, it's so simple, right? Just 16 steps that you guys need to really be focusing on and doing. And it's right there. And within all of that, the content is inside each chapter of the book on how to do it. So what are you guys going to do? What are you not doing that you're going to start doing?
Well, can I ask a question?
Yes.
I had the hardest time blocking time to make phone calls.
Okay.
I'd love to know, when do you do your phone calls? And how do you stick to that schedule without all the urgent and the Gmails and the office trainings and the instructions? Help.
So Gary Keller, one is discover what works and what doesn't work. Okay. So how you do that is, listen, some people, they do their best work in the morning. So they want to get their calls done in the morning. They're finished, finito. I believe that we've gone over how many calls you need to be doing whenever we did the lead generation model. Remember the 4 circles and how many calls you should do each day to get the amount of leads that you want, to get the number of business that you want. Okay. And we can revisit that so that we can rework that number on how many you need to be talking to a day. If you can accomplish that in an hour, awesome. If you can't, then you need to figure out how much time you need. It really doesn't, some people, like, I know one person who makes her calls at night because she can't do it during the day. She makes her calls from 6 to 7. She's a top agent in San Antonio. And what was the other part of your question? There was something else.
Yeah, it was just about distractions.
Okay.
How do you deal with it? The
yes.
emails, the training, there's just so many things.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. So I have mine on do not disturb. When I had an office, I had 3 offices. I had a mega team, right? And my assistant, I had 2 assistants in a transaction coordinator. And one of my assistants, she was my personal assistant, was her job to take my phone from me because I had a phone at the time that I used and a headset. So I had my headset, right? So I didn't have to pick up and during my lead generating, she would shut my door, and anybody on the team that needed to talk to me or anyone, they would go to her directly. Now, how I do it now is I put my computer on do not disturb, which automatically puts my cell phone on do not disturb. And the only time, I will like in between calls check, because I have 3 kids. And, you know, and if anything happens to them, you know, I have usually like 7 missed calls from the school. You know, that's, I mean, those of us that are moms, we, you know, I mean, our children are our number one. And so, you also create an outgoing message. Hey, this is Anne Marie. I'm, you know, thank you for your call. Please leave a message. I am currently looking for homes for my buyers and buyers for my sellers, however it is you want to say it. I will be checking messages from 11 to 12 and returning calls then. If it's urgent, please send me a text. If you call past 6 p.m., I'll return it the next business morning from, you know, 7:30 to 8:30, whatever it is. But it's about creating expectations. So when you go to a doctor's office, right, and you call to make an appointment, and if you call between the hours of 12 and 1:30, what's the message say? We're out to lunch right now from the hours of 12 to 1:30. If it's urgent, dial 911, you know, or leave a message and we'll return it. If not, just call us after 1:30. Hey, you reached us after hours. Our office opens at 8, you know, so it's the same thing. Yes, Adam.
Yeah, I just was going to respond to Anne Marie. So I'm in bold right now. My name is Adam and I'm bold.
Yes, you are bold.
Yeah, so a lot of rah-rah and Kool-Aid, but that's all good. My accountability script partner is doing his bold 100 today, which is 100 contacts or 100 conversations rather. And I asked him, I said, well, how are you going to do it? And he said, I am finding an empty office and locking the door and calling anyone and everyone that I could possibly call. And he has controls in place to minimize distractions. So I think for me, how I took that was like he committed to doing this bold 100 with his coach, the bold coach, and they gave specific instructions to do that. And he has a plan in place and he's committed to it. So I think it comes down to me, like how committed am I to getting the 20 contacts a day to get 100 contacts in a week? And I guess that can be true for anyone on the call, is how many contacts are you committed to every day and sticking to it no matter what?
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. Love it. And for those of you, you know, like Shavana just shared about eating, you know, right, 5 days a week, I would make my lunch and bring it with me. And my snacks, I had a little refrigerator in my office, so nothing got in my way. And I was listing 10 to 15 homes a month, going on 17 to 20 listing appointments a week. But I was fierce. I was like, nothing is going to stop me from doing this, right? So that's the fire I want all of you guys to have in your gut. Just like nothing is going to get in your way from doing this. So when you sit down to lead generate, you know, and make sure you have everything. Make sure you've got your water, you know, any snacks that you want, your hand lotion, even your lip stuff, whatever it is you need, make sure you have it so you don't have an excuse to get up and walk away. If you have to create a checklist to start lead generating, do that. What do I need? Okay, I need da 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 da. Cool. Okay, I'm going to do an hour of call, then I'm going to take a 5-minute bathroom break and stretch. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to finish my, you know, calls. If you're that person that it's hard for you to stay still, do some meditating before you start and give yourself 5 or 10 minutes a 5 or 10 minute break. It's okay to do that. You do not have to be stuck at your, your desk just like for 2 hours or 3 hours straight. You can get up and give yourself a break. Then you got to sit your tushy back in the seat and get going again. Is that helpful?
It is. Teresa, can I add something here?
Yes.
So this is just from my personal experience, because if I have 100 things to do on my list, I will do maybe 90. If I have one, I will not do that one. So what really helped me, and this is Cody Gibson as well, he recommended the book Atomic Habits.
Oh, it's clear. Yes.
Somebody who didn't read it, it's that book was a game changer for me as well. And it's clear, and I'm getting his emails every week, and I always love to read what he's sending. But I mentioned before the game show, and for somebody is game show, for another person is different thing. I have kids that they can go really wacky, Teresa, as you said, like phone calls, then suddenly you are put out of the wagon. So intending to do many things in the morning, pick this one key thing that you have to do in the morning, whatever it is, whatever that one thing is. For me, it was a game show, participating half an hour with everybody. And I was doing everything around it. So when you read that book, Atomic Habit, you are stacking habits on top of each other. And an amazing thing, if I would just share something, because we are saying like, just make a phone call. The first phone call is the worst, because you have to make that first phone call. And on a Bolt, Adam, you mentioned that you've been on Bolt. Congratulations, it's an amazing thing to attend. So you make the first phone call, make it to your mom, make it to your friend, make it to whomever, and you don't even have to, just make the phone call. So, and the same, they were talking about somebody who'd like to start to going to the gym. They said, just do the 5 minutes every day for a week, just 5. And I don't even know whether this is from Atomic Habits, this one, but I read it somewhere. 5 minutes. First, you prepare your shoes, then you prepare your outfit, whatever you can fit in 5 minutes. The next day, whatever you can do in 5 minutes. And then you are kind of like building on it. So this is the only reason why I was attending game show for a year. I simply got so committed that I felt so bad if I wasn't. It started really to bother me. And I couldn't believe after this experience that actually you can get to that point that you feel guilty. So I would like to have that with my lead generation, because of course I'm not there yet.
Well, and yeah, Atomic Habits is amazing. And we are like at the end of our time. Here's what and thank you for sharing that, Beata. Yes. And I know I've like mentioned to some of you guys, it's writing down everything you do and getting rid of the bad habits and replacing it with a good habit. And so what I'd love to see all of us, and I've started the 75-day hard, which is 75 days of 2 workouts, outdoor, indoor, 45 minutes each, reading 10 pages, which I read all the time, no alcohol, eating right. And, what else? Posting pictures of your progress, like every day, taking a picture. And I think that's it. So I'm going to start posting it on our Facebook group. I do post it on my last night was the only night I did not read. And because my workouts, I think, killed me. I was asleep before 9 o'clock. So I have to start over again. Day 1. Yesterday was my day 1, but I didn't read my freaking pages. So I'd love for you guys to share what you're doing, health. Okay. That'll give others encouragement and make sure that we are doing what we're supposed to be doing, right? Awesome. Appreciate all of you guys for showing up. How you participate in here is how you participate everywhere. Love to you guys. I'll see y'all soon. Oh, Arian, and of course it's the last section of the book, Receive a Million, is going to be our next book club, on this. And then I'd like to start another book. And so, it'd be really cool for you guys to think of some really cool books. And then we can just kind of see what book we want to do next. Okay. Talk to y'all soon. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.